from the Summit in Houston, Rockets Vision presents the NBA playoffs. Tonight it's Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals. The Houston Rockets going against the Utah Jazz. Welcome back to the Summit on Rockets Vision. Let's go to Mario Nani, our public address announcer for the Houston starting lineup.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rock City, and here is the starting lineup for your Houston Rockets. At guard, 6'7" from Houston, number 22, Glenn Drexler. At guard, 6'3" from Pennsylvania, number 12, Matt Maloney. At forward, 6'6" from Auburn, number 4, Sir Charles Barkley. At forward, 6'5" from American International, number 17, Mario Ellie. And at center, 7' from Houston, number 34, Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon.
Rudy Tomjanovich. In a recent poll of players and general managers, the coach you'd most like to play for, Rudy was voted number 3, and Jerry Sloan, his opponent tonight, was voted number 5. Pat Riley was number 1, Lenny Wilkins number 2, and Phil Jackson number 4. Our matchups in tonight's game, and we've talked about it prior. Right now, the Jazz winning most of the matchups. You may see this change during the game. Russell and Drexler will start it off. Malone and Barkley, Ostertag, Olajuwon. Ostertag is leading the NBA playoffs in block shots with over 3 a game. Hornacek, Ellie, Stockton, and Maloney. But of course, that is always subject to change. Let's go to Lisa Miloski. Lisa?
Thanks, Bill. Well, the Houston Rockets are desperate for a spark off the bench. I talked with Coach Rudy Tomjanovich before the game. He said there will be no changes as far as the lineup is concerned. Kevin Willis, Sedale Threatt, and Eddie Johnson will be the first 3 off the bench. But all 3 have seen their scoring averages drop during the playoffs, and that is understandable to a point because they're getting fewer minutes. But no one has been able to step in with an offensive spark when the Rockets really need a pick-me-up. Rudy looking for a little help tonight, Bill. But he would be nice if he didn't need it. Back to you.
You're right about that, Lisa. Tonight, the Rockets are up against a Jazz team that has lost only 3 times since March the 1st. In that time, Utah is 33-3 since March the 1st, the hottest team in the NBA. Well, the Rockets win the tip. They'll have it to start the first and the fourth periods. Drexler will drop it down to Olajuwon. Olajuwon turning on Ostertag, has the ball knocked away by Hornacek into the hands of Stockton. Rockets in this series got to keep those turnovers down. Ostertag up for an easy 2, and of course the feed by Stockton. In this series, the Rockets averaging only 12 turnovers a game, and actually Utah with 2 more a game. Shot clock down to 9 seconds. Barkley wants to back it in. Stockton wants to come over and help. Barkley with a jumper. Got it. Tough shot by Charles Barkley.
Bill, I'm sitting here trying to analyze the defense on the part of the Jazz to see what they're going to try to do when Olajuwon has the ball. Now, offensively, it's no secret. They're going to try to take it down inside to anyone cutting on the same side where the ball is being passed from.
Calvin, that's 2 layups for Utah.
And the pass came from the same side where the ball was being passed from. It's not from the weak side, and that's tough to defend, obviously.
Rockets are having to work hard for shots. Utah getting easy layups. And there's Brian Russell with a foul.
It's going to be important offensively for the Rockets that they get a little more spacing. You have too many hands around Olajuwon when he makes his move, and they get to him too quickly.
All right, down to Hakeem again, working on Ostertag with a hook shot. Won't get the roll. No, he went back and got it. Saves it over to Ellie. Ellie's got Barkley underneath, but he couldn't handle the pass. And now Drexler with a steal. Back outside to Maloney. Maloney with a 3. Missed it. And Malone with a rebound.
I held my breath. That would have been a biggie. You know, he needs to get a good start. He's got to get his confidence.
Karl Malone giving it up to Stockton, going baseline for the layup. Missed it. Olajuwon with a rebound.
Yeah, he missed it, but it was a layup, Bill.
Hakeem averaging 11 rebounds a game. Barkley, they want him to take the three.
Yeah, everybody in the building is getting.
And illegal defense called on Utah. It's about time. Ostertag way out of position. Olajuwon was on the other side of the lane from the ball, and Ostertag was way in the paint. All right, that's the first illegal D call. Here's Barkley again, back out to Drexler. Drexler passed on the three. He'll take it right back into Charles. Charles will work on Malone. Nice pass to Olajuwon. He's got Ostertag one-on-one, but he missed the shot. Ostertag at 7'2" is the best defensive presence the Jazz have ever had at that center position. And he has made himself felt in this series. Hornacek, tough pass to Ostertag for two. And the Jazz lead it 6-2.
The Jazz do such a nice job following the play on any penetration.
Because they know their guards will give it up.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
Olajuwon, illegal defense again on Utah. This time on John Stockton, so I think maybe they're going to clean this up early tonight.
Yeah, they got a big broom out there. Let's sweep this thing under the rug. Big Bill, how you doing over there? I didn't say hi to you today. The best stat man in the business.
You got that right, Bill Roberts. I think he gave you some money. Our officials tonight, we've got a great crew. Joe Crawford, Hugh Hollins, and Don Vaden. Crawford, Hollins, and Vaden, the officials. Two of the top 6 referees as voted on by the players.
You can't be missing foul shots tonight, Bill. They're going to be too hard to come by.
There's Olajuwon. Takes it in on Ostertag. 6-4, Jazz by 2, and now Maloney pressing the ball. Hornacek will come back to help.
Hey, get that out of my air, please.
Stockton giving it up to Hornacek with the jumper, and he hits. Do they ever miss? 4 of 5 for Utah, 80%. Drexler shoots it too hard on a 3. That sets up another fast break for Utah. Stockton will stop. A 2-pointer, hits it. 5 of 6 from the field for the Jazz. They lead 10-4. Barkley and Malone. Barkley taking it inside. He's fouled by, he's called for traveling. Barkley called for traveling.
The thing that Barkley does that has not worked against the Utah team is he's taking so much time to make his move that they're getting a lot of help. And now you have Malone that is so strong that Barkley's expending a lot of energy trying to move him.
Stockton always yo-yoing that ball, looking for an opening. You go down to Karl Malone with a turnaround, hits again. Boy, I'm telling you, this is a finely oiled machine, the Utah Jazz. They have come out here and just flat put it in the face of the Rockets. They've hit 6 of their first 7 shots for 86%. And right now, Utah is on a 6-0 run. And if they don't start missing a few shots, Calvin, this Utah team looks unbelievable.
Yeah, what's happening is they're getting much easier shots than the Rockets right now. The Rockets have either tried to post up or the Rockets have taken the perimeter shot. The Rockets have got to find a way to get some easy baskets.
Not getting an easy shot at all, are they? They have
not at all.
They have 4 points. They've got 2 baskets, and each basket was hotly contested. Watch this passing by the Jazz now.
Well, anytime that you have bodies moving, you can make any kind of pass you want to. Now, that's a tremendous effort right there. Olajuwon had to come over to support, and then you had Ostertag following the penetrator and was rewarded by giving a little sleight of hand pass, the easy layup.
Now, Stockton has given it up to Hornacek with the jumper. In fact, they have assisted on 5 of their 6 baskets. And then Malone gets into the act, and he's improved his outside game tremendously over the last couple of seasons.
I would feel better if they were making fantastic shots, but they're making basic jump shots moving to the basket within their range. They've done nothing fancy. They've done nothing difficult. They've just moved the ball and moved the bodies.
Well, that's the story right now. That's Utah only missing one shot here in the first 5 minutes of this game. Let's go to Lisa. Lisa.
Well, Bill, the main thrust of Rudy Tomjanovic's chat there in the huddle, he said, let's get something going strong to the basket. I think you guys were talking about it. Thank you.
Well, but I'm not sure now whether Utah is going to allow that. They are really cutting everything off.
Bill, you just made a very valid statement. Talking about it and in Utah letting you do it is two different things.
That's right. That defense of the Jazz looks ironclad. Now Drexler back out to Maloney. He'll fire up a three. Well, that's obvious if the Rockets aren't going to hit it.
And they're going to give the Rockets that shot. They're going to pack it in until the Rockets prove themselves.
Yeah, the Rockets have not been able to hit it. And a whistle and an illegal D on Houston.
Illegal defense warning. The next will be a technical foul.
Well, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. They're not going to let anybody get away with playing areas tonight.
In the first two games against the Jazz, the Rockets hit only 30% of their three-pointers, and they've missed their first three here tonight. Into Malone. Trying to get it back to Stockton. Stockton throws it right to Olajuwon. Here's Drexler on the fast break. Drexler to the middle. Over to Ellie for two. And there's a Houston Rockets fast break. We haven't seen a lot of them.
Opportunity basket.
Yep.
But it was all based on good, sound defense.
12-6. Stockton with those big hands palming the ball. That allows him to do a lot of different things with it. He'll come off that Malone with the ball now with a hook pass to Russell. 3 on the shot clock. Russell has to force one up. He missed it. Good defense by Houston. Barkley back to Clyde. Clyde will fire up a three. Got it.
What's the old saying, Bill? No, no, yes!
Exactly what you were saying. That's a 3-point Utah lead now. The Rockets with 5 points in a row. Rockets switching on defense and helping out. Trying to stay with Hornacek. Olajuwon, good job of flashing out.
Now they're doing something they didn't do in game 2. As they come off that pick, they're switching, not allowing the player to turn that corner and get a good look at the basket.
Shot clock down to 9 seconds. Stockton leaning in on the miss, gets it back, puts it up, misses again. Rebound, out of bounds, off Houston. That's another thing, too. When that ball bounces, it bounces to a purple jersey. It seems like a lot of rebounds have come out to the free throw line in this series.
I don't know if the rims are hard or the ball has a lot of air in it, but you're right.
Stockton with a back pick on Barkley, didn't work. Now Malone wants the ball, he's got it. Olajuwon comes over to help, Barkley with a jumper. Or Malone, I should say, over Barkley.
Now, let me tell you what Malone does. As soon as he sees that the help is coming, he fades away and takes that jump shot quick. He doesn't allow them to double team him.
5-point lead. There's Olajuwon. Got Ostertag in the air, and he hits the jump hook. Hakeem with 4 points. 14-11. Jazz by 3. Hornacek uses a pick by Malone. Misses. Olajuwon goes and gets it. Here comes Maloney. Rockets have the advantage. Down into Barkley. Barkley lost the ball. That's twice. But he hasn't been able to handle a pass underneath. So maybe that ball had a little mustard on it.
Yeah, but that was a good pass. That should have been caught.
All right, now here's what Jerry Sloan will do every game. Howard Isley will make his appearance in place of Stockton with about 5 minutes and a quarter.
This young man has been playing some basketball, Bill.
Well, I'll say.
He's just not coming in there to give anybody a breather. He usually takes this team to another level when he gets on the floor.
Isley out of Boston College. Three-pointer, got it. Brian Russell, who is having an excellent series, and he's been a key. 17-11. 6-point lead by the Jazz. Down to Hakeem again, working to the middle. Tough shot, and it goes. And the Rockets trying to ride Olajuwon's broad shoulders here in the first quarter. He has 6 points.
I'll tell you what, he became a workaholic from the start of this game.
Isley outside, uses that pick, goes around the corner, almost lost the ball, into Ostertag for the slam. And a foul on Clyde Drexler.
Boy, the one thing the guards from Utah will do, they recognize defensive switching, defensive traps, and the first time that anybody comes over to support, they get the ball to that player. Now, here's Isley driving. Olajuwon comes over. The first thing he does is find Olajuwon's man going to the basket. No stopping dunk.
When the season started, Utah wanted Ostertag to be a little more active, and he has been the second half of the season. He's a youngster out of Kansas, and they've never had a center as an answer to Hakeem and David Robinson over in this division, but they do now. Ostertag has been very effective.
Well, whatever they're feeding those young men in Kansas, I'll tell you what, I'd like to buy a bag of it for my boys.
Barkley taking it in on Malone. Malone with a block. Here comes Hornacek. 20-13. Jazz by 7. Under 4 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Malone outside. Barkley right behind him. Malone with a turnaround jumper, and he got it again. 10 of 15 from the field for a sizzling 67% by Utah. 22-13. Jazz by 9. That's the largest lead of the game for Utah. Olajuwon turning inside. Missed it. Rebound Ostertag. Bounced into the hands of Barkley. Puts it up for 2. Rockets get a break. For Barkley, that's his first basket and his first rebound. Make it his second basket. 22-15. Boy, all you can do right now if you're Houston is try to weather the storm.
Yeah, it is. I'll tell you what, it's a gusher out there, too. They're shooting that ball with no fear.
Isley will fire up a 3. Got it.
Let me explain to you one more time. They have no fear of letting that ball go if they see that rim. I don't believe you heard me.
25-15. I heard you. And a foul on Ostertag.
That's his second here in the first quarter. They only have 2 fouls, and both of them are on Ostertag.
That's the first on Ostertag. Here's Willis about to check into the game with 2:46 left to play in the first quarter. What an incredible performance by Utah here in the first quarter. The Jazz have been hitting a variety of shots. The Rockets came out with a lot of energy and enthusiasm. And let me tell you something. The only thing Utah is giving Houston is Olajuwon in the middle, and then he's having to work hard for everything.
They're not giving that. He's taking it.
Yeah. And no one else for the Rockets getting a good look. It's probably as good a defense as I've seen.
That's right.
Well, we got a party coming up tomorrow. I know how you like parties. So the next Pepsi playoff party is tomorrow from 11 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon at the Randalls at Westheimer at Wilcrest. Participants in this official Rockets pep rally can compete in the Pepsi Challenge Shootout for great Rockets prizes. So come meet Clutch and the Power Dancers this Saturday at the Pepsi playoff party. Pepsi Generation Next.
Of the Houston Rockets.
Boy, Malone's off to a great start tonight.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, you know, he's not trying to beat his head up against a stone wall. He's taking what the defense is giving him. Now, Charles is keeping him from backing, so he says, I'll catch the ball in an area where when I fade, I'm only fading from 10 feet.
Karl Malone, this year's MVP, and here's the Rockets MVP 3 seasons ago. You know, I see some similarities too, Calvin. That first championship season for Houston when Hakeem was the most valuable player and the Rockets rode that type of national recognition to the NBA championship, and I think the Jazz are doing the same thing with Karl Malone.
Well, why not? He has the kind of talent.
Boy, Howard Isley has just been a thorn in Houston's side off the bench. One of the many fine bench players. Came in averaging over 5 points a game.
Yeah, but see, you can't look at how many points he's averaging. You got to look at, is the shot a big shot at the time he takes it? And he's been taking some big shots and making them when the Rockets have been basically trying to fight their way back into the game.
And the Rockets shooting 50%, but look at Utah. 69% for the Jazz in the first quarter.
I'd like to see Sadale Green be a little more aggressive offensively.
Clyde trying to get it outside. Mario with a great save. Gets it back to Drexler. He'll fire up the outside jumper. Missed it. Russell tips it over to Ostertag. Right through the legs of Drexler on the floor, and Hornacek comes out of there with it. Down to Karl Malone. Willis right behind him. Nice pass to Isley for two more.
That hurts. When you play good defense and there's just a fragment of an area to put the ball through, and they put it through there for an easy layup. That had to be a perfect pass.
27-15 Utah. Ellie had to give it up to Willis, and a loose ball foul on Willis.
First of all, that should have been a shot by Ellie. Now, Ellie does a nice job. He gets inside. There's the shot. You have you have Willis in an arm lock with Mr. Flop, or should I say Mr. MVP, who flops.
Yep. Isley outside. And a whistle away from the ball. And a foul is called on Kevin Willis. Second foul on Willis. He's been getting in foul trouble so early in games that Rudy really hasn't been able to use him very much.
Well, I tell you.
Thank you very much.
Joe Crawford was asking how many team fouls. That's the first foul in the last 2 minutes on Houston. And a technical foul is called on Clyde Drexler. Joe Crawford is calling a technical on Clyde. Clyde said, "What did I say?" And Joe said, "You weren't in on the play. It was between me and Willis, so I called a T on you." They not shoot the free throw?
Yeah, they shot it.
Oh, I wasn't watching.
No,
I was watching the argument. All right. Inside to Ostertag, missed a shot, gets it back, puts it up, misses. The Rockets need a basket in the worst way.
But see, Shadell has got to be involved in the offense. He just can't be bringing the ball down the floor and passing it and not being a threat, because his man will drift off and clog up.
Well, Joe Crawford just called an offensive foul on Clyde Drexler. Drexler now has picked up his second personal foul. That's pretty tough there. Isley had his arm. And now Drexler will leave the game, and Eddie Johnson will get some early moments. 1:12 left to play in the first quarter. Down to Malone. Has it knocked away into the hands of Willis. Mario Ellie down to Willis now. He'll work on Karl Malone. Back outside to Sadeo Free. Off to Eddie Johnson. Blocked by Ostertag. And off. Boy, Russell giving Eddie Johnson a little shove out of bounds, but the ball was off Eddie.
Well, it's all about good sound defense now. Eddie takes it. Eddie does the right thing. He stops and pops. But you have Ostertag 7-2 come out to meet the shot. Does a nice job defensively and blocks it.
28-15. 36 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Hornacek puts it up and misses. Thank heavens they're missing a little bit here at the end of the quarter. 24 seconds left. And illegal defense on Utah. That's the third illegal D. But, you know, there's a theory about that. Play it the entire game.
Shut that down,
Theory about playing that illegal defense, just keep doing it. Referees are going to only call it about 3 or 4 times.
That's right. I tell you what, you know, you said it earlier about weathering storm. Well, the Utah Jazz could not have played any better this first quarter. They played better this first quarter than they did at home.
Double team on Akeem. Back to Sedale Threet. And he's fouled by Isley. But the Jazz had one to give. So with 7.8 left to play in the first quarter, the Rockets will try to get the final shot here.
You don't have time to play with it. You got to look.
Olajuwon with a hook shot, and he got it.
He didn't play.
Still 3 seconds left, however. Hornacek giving it up to Malone. Malone from almost midcourt. He hit it. A three-pointer for Karl Malone from the Rocket circle. Almost a perfect quarter for the Utah Jazz. Boy, they didn't do anything wrong. Not only did they hold Houston to 18 points, they exploded for 31. A quarter to remember for Utah. Watch it again before we go to the break. There's Malone with 0.5 of a second on the shot clock. He got it for a three, and the Jazz win the first quarter 31-18. Here's our first period game summary, and Malone with 7, Ostertag with 7, Olajuwon with 8, Barkley with 4. Utah 62% from the field, and the points off turnovers, Utah with a 7-4 advantage. 14-5, Utah outscored Houston the final 4.5 minutes. And watch Karl Malone with about a 44-footer.
And let me tell you what, there was no effort in that shot either.
Just inside the three-point. That's his first three-pointer of the season. Wouldn't you know it? Ostertag goes for the dunk and missed. Eddie Johnson missed it. Willis got it and had it taken away. Antoine Carr in the game now. Also Stockton back in. They've made every shot except that they've missed some dunks. Shandon Anderson missed the shot off the hand of Mario Ellie. So even when they throw it up and miss everything, it goes off the hand of a Rocket. And now Greg Foster will check in for Ostertag.
The Rockets want to be very careful that they don't put themselves in a situation they try so hard that they're very tight and can't score.
Foul on Sedale Threet before the basket by Stockton.
Foul on number 2, Sedale Threet. That's his
First foul on Sedale. Well, I just hope they haven't taken what little steam was in the Houston Rockets when they came out to start the game.
Yeah, that's true.
I hope Utah hasn't deflated the Rockets' balloon here. There's Barkley with a steal. Gives it back to Sedale. Rockets need to get a little run going. They really haven't been able to get a run going in this entire series. Try to get 7, 8 points in a row here. Willis takes it in on Foster for 2, and he's fouled. Maybe that'll get him going.
Well, that's what Willis needs to get him going.
That's right.
He's had a couple of tough games away from home.
And Rudy said when he picked up 2 quick fouls, Rudy said, I'll just have to ride it out with Kevin.
Well, yeah, even though he picked up those early fouls, you need him out on the floor to spell Olajuwon, so you're going to have to take the lesser of 2 evils.
He got the 3-point play. And it's back to a 10-point lead by Utah. All right, play some defense. Stockton gives it up to Antoine Carr, and he hits. Unbelievable shooting by Utah. 58%.
Well, look at the shots they're getting, Bill.
But every year, Utah's in the top 3 teams shooting in the NBA. They've always been a good shooting team because you're right, they get good shots. Sedale Threet with a 3.
That's what is needed. Somebody other than Olajuwon or Barkley scoring for the Rockets to keep the defense honest.
Somebody's going to have to get hot for Houston from the outside. Shandon Anderson wants to give it back to Stockton. Now he'll drive on Ellie. Anderson uses the bank, won't work. Barkley with a rebound. He won't give it up. Barkley with a 3. Misses. Tipped back out by Ellie to Sedale Threet. He puts up a 3. Sedale Threet. All right. ball. Great defense by the Rockets.
Well, you know, we talked about the importance of everybody getting involved. Sedale took it upon himself to hit a couple of big ones. That was timeout on the part of the Jazz.
Listen to this crowd in the Summit. Now they got something to cheer about. Well, Calvin, the Rockets with a 9-2 run. It's the first serious run by Houston in the playoffs.
Well, what they simply,
in this series.
In this series, what they've simply done, they've gotten somebody else involved. And that's Sedale coming off the bench for those 2 big threes. Now, this is the momentum that the Rockets have been trying to get since the start of the game, and now they've got to ride this crest.
Boy, that was a great play by Ellie, wasn't it, to keep it alive? And Sedale three with a couple of threes off the bench. And the Rockets on a 9-2 run, and it's a timeout on the court. The Rockets now are within 5 points. The biggest lead by Utah was 13. Rockets fans, be one of the first 12,000 fans to enter the Summit at Sunday's Rockets game and receive a souvenir Rockets rally towel presented by Randall's and Pepsi. So get ready to show your support with the Rockets and Randall's, your remarkable store, and Pepsi Generation Next. Well, the excitement for the moment is back. Sedale Threet has been the catalyst. He's in there with Eddie Johnson and Kevin Willis along with Barkley and Ellie, and the Rockets now will have the ball, trailing by 5. Eddie Johnson for a 3. Yes!
Well, when it rains, it pours, Bill.
A 12-2 run by Houston, and the Rockets should be trailing. I thought that was a 3-pointer. It was not.
Well, Eddie runs behind the pick. Yeah, watching Sedale. He gets it over to Eddie. Eddie finds the mark, scores.
All right, picking up Antoine Carr. Barkley, 12 on the shot clock. Turnaround, tough shot by Carr. Rimmed it out. And Foster fell on the baseline. Houston's ball. Here come the Rockets. Trailing by 3, 33-30.
Now, all of a sudden, Utah starting to feel a little pressure themselves. The shot is not falling as fluid as it has before.
Barkley back outside. Eddie Johnson with another good look. Just missed it. Tipped outside to Willis. Willis gives it up to Sedale Threet. Rockets with a new 24. Eddie Johnson over to Barkley. Takes it inside for a layup. Got it. Rockets now with a 14-2 run. And Utah wants a 20-second timeout. Oh, what a run by Houston.
Well, I'll tell you
Don't
what.
you feel better already? I mean,
I'll tell you what, all of a sudden, Bill, this is something I normally wouldn't do. I'm sitting here chewing gum. I've gotten so nervous watching the Rockets finally getting some fluid motion, and that was a great pass on the part of Charles Barkley. He was posting up. Eddie dropped the ball in, and now here's something that Utah did early. They threw the ball in, and they cut on the same side of the ball for layups, and the Rockets have taken some lessons from that, and Eddie has been able to score.
and of course it helps when the ball goes in. The Rockets have hit 5 of their last 8 shots, and 3 of those have been three-pointers. And it's a 1-point lead by the Jazz. Double team on Stockton in the corner. Outside, And a big basket by Antoine Carr to stop that 14-2 run by Houston. 35-32. Mario Ellie over to Willis. Got Antoine Carr right behind him. Oh, Willis, nice move inside. Puts it up. He's fouled. He'll shoot 2. Boy, an active Kevin Willis here tonight. Now, did you see Eddie Johnson telling Willis, look, when they come over to double team you, I'm open.
That's right, because what you've had here now is you have a perimeter game that is finally in tune. You don't have to force the action.
And that right there was a perfect example of what I alluded to a moment ago. That was another illegal defense by Utah. But how many times are you going to call them on? They've already called him three times. They were frozen in a zone. And all of this has been done without Akeem Olajuwon. 35-33.
But that's what the bench is supposed to do, Bill.
All right, Stockton out front working on Sedale Threet. There's a pick by Foster. Back outside. Greg Foster. Can't get the shot. Tipped away. Back over. Knocked out of bounds. Great hustle by Ellie. And there's 5 seconds on the shot clock. Don't give up anything easy here.
Don't give up anything easy. Make them beat you over the top with a hand in the face.
All right, down to 4 seconds. Tough shot by Stockton. Man, I'll tell you, what an offensive. You know, we hear so much. He's the all-time assist leader and steals leader in NBA history, but he has been offensive-minded in this series. Willis shoots it up, won't get the roll. Shannon Anderson with a rebound. Over to Stockton in the middle. Stockton will pull up. You better get on him. There's Foster over the back. Won't go. Ellie in the open court. Mario. And ball rolls through the legs of everybody. And now Utah on a 3-on-1. And a charging foul on Shannon Anderson. Yes, Mario, yes. Timeout, Houston. Boy, I'll tell you, the Rockets are back and playing Rocket ball.
Now, the Rockets did a nice job by being back defensively. Right here, you had the ball stopped by Willis. That gave Mario Ellie time to get back in the defensive scheme, and he took the charge.
And you know, Mario ran a long way, Calvin, to get that position.
Well, that's why they call it transition basketball. You can't give up. If you have one man back to slow them down, you can go down your 4 feet.
Listen, Sedale Threet with 6 points, Willis with 4, and Eddie Johnson with 5. That's the most production by the Houston bench in the first 2 games combined. All right, let's go to Lisa. She talks about an old friend of ours.
Yeah, Bill, I talked with Carol Dawson, the Rockets Executive Vice President for basketball. He was back home in Houston after having angioplasty surgery yesterday in Salt Lake City. I talked to him about 6:15 tonight. He said he's still a little bit weak, but the good news is he got a clean bill of health. His arteries are clear and his heart is healthy. He said he'll be laid up for a couple of days, but you know, Carol, he'll be back at it as soon as he can. Carol said he wanted to thank all the people who have called and sent messages. He said it has been, quite frankly, overwhelming. I asked him if he'd be watching the game tonight, Bill, and you know how wild Carol gets watching a game. He said people have told him not to, but he said, Lisa, I don't think I cannot watch it. So, Carol, if you're watching, take it easy, bud. Back to you, Bill.
Yes, indeed, and of course, the good Lord took care of CD with a little warning. But if he thinks I'm going to give him any strokes on the golf course when he comes back, he's crazy.
I don't think he's afraid of you.
Oh, I know he's not afraid of me, but he'll ask for strokes.
Just see if he can get them. My kind of man, CD.
Any good golfer would.
He gives you.
Look at the bench for Houston here tonight.
I love it. I love it.
And the Rockets are back in it now, trailing by 4. And now Akeem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler will check back in for Houston. So it'll be Eddie Johnson and Sedale Threet in the game with Olajuwon, Barkley, and Drexler. Down to Barkley. Working in on Foster. Takes it inside, and it's knocked out of bounds by Utah. 11 seconds on the shot clock.
The one thing I like the last combination on the floor. It was great defensive intensity and good ball and body movement.
Barkley taking it inside, looking for the shot, missed it. Hakeem tipped it up, Carr tipped it away from him. Again, great interior defense. Foster can't handle it. Well, Hugh Holland said that Eddie Johnson knocked it out of bounds, so Utah gets it back. One thing Sloan does too, when he puts his bench in, he puts Stockton back in the game. Shannon Anderson with a three, got it. So Utah now, after seeing their lead evaporate to only one, has come back to take a 7-point lead again, and you can't let them run off and hide a second time.
What you got to do is you got to stop the penetration.
Eddie Johnson with a three. Well, they're going to give it to you. You got to take it, but you got to make it.
Yeah, it's good to see it back.
4-point lead by Utah. Stockton pulls up for that medium range shot. That's the one you love.
I don't understand how he could come off a pick and the person that's setting the pick not jump out and get in his face and make him reposition himself. They did it early on the switching well.
Stockton 3 of 8 from the field. He has 6 points. Olajuwon across the middle. He's fouled. Foul on Antoine Carr, and that's what he's in there. He's in there to give up some fouls. All right, explain what you're talking about here.
Okay, now Stockton comes off of Foster. Right there, you should have Barkley coming out to support, and then you have Sedale that jumps in the path of Foster until they get a chance to switch back, and then Stockton will not get that easy jump shot with nobody in his face.
Team to the middle, hooks it up for 2. What a tough shot by Olajuwon. 42-38, Jazz by 4. Jazz have led all the way. Crowd yelling defense. There's Stockton with another jumper.
And it's going to work, it's going to work, and it's going to work until they jump out and switch in his face.
Man, Calvin, I don't understand it. I mean, this is basic basketball here, and you just keep giving it up. Stockton's saying it's there, let's use it. Yeah, that's a 20-second timeout by Houston. 4:48 left to play in the second period. Right now, Stockton with 8 points, 9 points for Malone.
Well, let's play it again, Sam. There's the pick. Barkley doesn't leave Malone. By the time they come over from the opposite side to support, right here, Barkley should pick him up. They don't pick him up, he stops. There's a medium-range jump shot that is so dangerous.
And Drexler was coming over then.
But Drexler had to come too far to support, and it was too late.
And if Stockton sees that, he'll go to whoever Drexler leaves.
Well, of course, if Barkley leaves to support, whoever's guarding Stockton has better jump in Malone's path quickly, because Stockton will get the ball to Malone for an easy layup.
Well, you saw the starting backcourt 11-3, and Maloney is back in the game. 44-38, and a foul on Ostertag. That's his second foul of the game.
I thought he had 2 early in the first.
Nope.
Wishful thinking?
Wishful thinking. He's got 2 now. That's 4 team fouls on the Jazz, 2 team fouls on the Rockets. So the Rockets get another foul on Utah. They can go to the line. Houston can. There's Olajuwon taking it up, missed it. And he's fouled by Ostertag or Malone.
Well, that's all right.
It's going to be Ostertag. That's his 3rd. And Greg Foster will have to re-enter the game. Boy, he was sandwiched there.
Ooh, like an Oreo.
How'd he get there? He took that rebound away from Malone. Then there's Malone breaking his wrist. That's a lot of wear and tear on Hakeem, though. He's working for everything he's getting tonight. He's hit 5 of 9 from the field. He has 11 points and 4 rebounds. The Rockets have missed 3 free throws. They're 4 of 7. 44-39. 5-point Utah lead. 4:22 and counting left to play here in the first half. Stockton again.
Notice how Olajuwon stepped out and stopped him from getting to the basket.
5 on the shot clock. Stockton dribbles it off his knee. Maloney all over him. They don't get it off in time. Great defense by the Rockets, especially Matt Maloney. All right, Jerry Sloan quickly goes back to get Hornacek and Brian Russell. They'll come in the next dead ball. 4 minutes left to play in the second quarter. Drexler called for traveling. He just can't get untracked in this series.
Checking into the game for the Jazz, number 3, Brian Russell, number 14, Jeff.
All right, Russell and Hornacek back. Stockton calling out the play.
You know what the play is.
Yeah, get the mailman involved in a pick and roll. There it is. Stockton's open again. Hits again. Plain old simple pick and roll basketball. Stockton is having an unbelievable series. He's averaging 21 points a game, and he's halfway to that now. 46-39, 7-point lead. Eddie Johnson. 3. Eddie Johnson.
Oh, he's posing now. Statue of Liberty. Post on. I like that.
4 of 7 for Eddie.
Free stroke for us, big fella.
4-point lead by Utah.
There you go. Now, see when Olajuwon steps out, and he gets back to his man now.
But Brian Russell's wide open, and he hits a three-pointer. There's just nowhere to put the finger in the dam.
Well, you got to stop one before you can stop two.
49-42, Jazz by 7. Hakeem will work on Foster. Turns with a hook shot. Olajuwon with 13 points. 49-44, 5-point Utah lead. Here they go with a pick and roll again.
Notice how they stop it. Great defense. They finally start to switch, Bill.
They set it on the other side. Hornacek's open. Hornacek hits. The Rockets cannot stop the pick and roll, and we've got a technical foul called on Brian Russell. Eddie Johnson will be at the line. Eddie is a perfect 21 of 21 from the line in the playoffs. And you notice I wait till after he shoots.
Yes, indeed. Way to think about it, Bill.
Timeout on the court. 2:22 left to play in the second period. The Jazz 51, the Rockets 44. I'll tell you what, it's got to be somewhat deflating for Houston to know that they're shooting 53%, and yet they're losing by 6 points.
Well, they started too late with that 53%. By that time, Utah was up by 7.
Well, Utah's hit 5 of 7 from behind the three-point line for 71%. The Rockets are 6 of 12. So the Jazz with just one less three-pointer than Houston has. Tonight's NBA Flashback is presented by Mazda. And on May 23rd, 1994, the Rockets, behind Hakeem Olajuwon's 31 points, defeated the Jazz 100-88 in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. Rockets won that series 4-1. The only loss coming in Utah in Game 3. But that was then.
This is now.
And right now, the Utah Jazz are playing almost a flawless game. There really isn't too much I can find fault with what Utah is doing.
Well, their offensive scheme.
Now, this was earlier when the Rockets.
Now, here the Rockets did a nice job because they came out and switched. Stockton lost control of the ball, and the 21st-second clock ran off. But if you look at the offensive game of Utah, when you come off this pick and you don't switch, this is what happens. You get all the open jumpers you can muster. That's ugly, isn't it?
Well, I might have to. Now, I know why they don't switch, because when you do switch, Malone goes to the basket with the smaller guard, right?
Well, what you got to do is make them reposition yourself and then try to get back. But you can't allow them, as well as they're shooting, to keep getting those 15, 16, 18-foot jump shots.
Well, I didn't know Malone and Stockton and Hornacek were that old, but apparently they were there with Dr. Naismith when he invented the game. And Malone and Stockton said to Dr. Naismith, have you ever heard of the pick and roll? I'm rewriting that story.
What they said is to take the bottom out of that basket because we're getting tired of reaching up and taking it out.
All right, Rockets with the ball, trailing by 6. Olajuwon to the middle over Foster, and they're just giving Hakeem whatever he wants. He's got 15. 2 minutes left to play in the second quarter. Now Olajuwon comes out on the double team, gives Drexler time to pick it up again. Stockton with a layup, missed it.
You see what happens when you switch, Bill? They've got to do something now.
Well, Stockton had the layup and an offensive foul on Matt Maloney. Too obvious.
Well, the Utah team's got to get bigger shoes or something because they fall very easily.
Yep. Well, they're veterans. They know how to flop. Now, see, he's got a hand on him, and then he just falls back. Stockton back over to Foster from 17. Misses. Barkley has it. Here comes Barkley on the fast break. Charles wants to work on Russell. Here's Foster coming over to help. All right, it'll be Russell again. Barkley going to the basket. Russell with a foul. And that's the 15th foul on the Jazz, and Barkley will get 1 plus the bonus. The Rockets have only 2 team fouls, so Houston still has 1 to give because we're inside of 2 minutes.
Here's the good news, Bill. I don't think Utah can play any better than what they're playing, and the Rockets are still hanging in there, and they haven't really had a chance to play up to that level.
I'm convinced if you're convinced.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Give me hope, Calvin.
I tell you what, if you allow me to sing, I'll really give you hope.
You can sing tonight.
Uh-oh.
If we win.
Oh.
51-48, Jazz by 3.
Just give me hope and then take it back.
Charles with 6 points and 3 rebounds. Rockets down by only 2 now. Offensive foul on Malone. Well, this place will raise the roof if the Rockets can tie it up here. Or a three-pointer would give Houston the lead. Olajuwon to the middle again, back to Eddie. Johnson leans in with a jumper, got it. And the game is tied at 51.
Eddie has found his stroke.
The crowd on its feet.
Good switch. Good switch.
Saved by Barkley. Drexler to Olajuwon at the baseline. He's working. Back to Maloney. Down to Olajuwon. Turning inside on Foster. Eddie Johnson with a 3. Missed it. And the rebound, Barkley. Rockets have 19 seconds. 1 shot. Shot clock is off. Drexler with a 3. Missed it. Tipped away, and Stockton saves it all the way down the court to Malone. He puts it up. Missed it. Rebound, Maloney. 1 second left. Shoot it, Matt. Shoot it, Matt. He didn't see the clock. And that's the end of a furious first half of basketball. Oh, my goodness. The Rockets outscore Utah 33-20 in the second quarter. Listen to these statistics. Utah shooting 56% from the field. The Rockets shooting 53%. What a comeback by Houston. Wow, stay with us. Get your breath. We'll be back in a moment. Of his three-pointers. Stockton leading the Jazz, as you saw him just a moment ago, with 10 points. There's Eddie. He's got a smile back on his face. Most of you shooters do that when you're hitting.
When you're feeling good, show the teeth.
14 points in 13 minutes.
You can't even tell the cavities when you're shooting good.
All right, start out this third quarter with good defense. A little different look as now Stockton goes behind an Ostertag pick. He misses, tipped up and in by Ostertag. Boy, he stretched his 7-2 to considerable length. So the Rockets have never had the lead. Back out to Matt. Matt passed on the three. He'll shoot a tough jumper, missed it. Russell with a rebound. He had an easier shot.
Yes, he did.
Up.
Yes, he did.
Back to Hornacek baseline. Here they come. You better not come out half-stepping.
Nope, you don't want to play catch-up basketball for a second half.
First 4 points of the half scored by Utah. Drexler will work on Russell. Ostertag's caught in no man's land. There's no illegal D call. Down to Olajuwon. 7 on the shot clock. He's in trouble. Goes baseline. Oh, what
Let me ask you a question. When did you ever see the Dream Shake in trouble? That time.
Well, that's the sweetest shake I've seen. Ostertag has it blocked by Akeem into the hands of Barkley. Barkley will back it in on Malone. Stockton, there's an illegal defense. That's the 4th illegal D of the game. And it's called on Stockton. Now the Rockets trail by 1, and they will have the ball. Barkley gets a double team. Drexler with a 3. Got it! And the Rockets take their first lead of the game.
Anytime you take the lead, the next play after is very important because you want to sustain it. You don't want to have to play catch-up after you take a lead.
Barkley trying to make a tough pass to Drexler. He saves it. Maloney with a 3, misses. Barkley with a rebound, knocks it over to Olajuwon, puts it up, and a foul is whistled.
Now, I like what I see on the floor.
Olajuwon.
Yeah, Olajuwon has gone over to Matt to tell Matt, good shot, keep his confidence going.
That's right.
That's what a veteran will do. I like that. Now, Matt doesn't have to worry about shooting the ball and thinking his teammates are going to be upset with him.
Barkley will work again on Malone. Barkley gets a double team. Stockton and Nick. Another illegal defense. Stockton cannot go down there unless he comes all the way. He's got to come all the way, or he's got to stay on his man. He can't come halfway. And I'm glad the officials are calling it because he's been doing it the entire series. And it's illegal. Mario with another technical. That's 5 illegal defenses on Utah. Rockets now lead by 3. Barkley, tough pass to Malone. He couldn't handle it in traffic. Stockton will have it in the open court. Drives all the way in for 2. He's too tough. Boy, is he tough.
Well, you got to help.
I got some old boots at home that aren't as tough as Stockton. 12 points for Stockton. 1 point Houston lead. Olajuwon spinning inside, misses, and over the back is Malone. Loose ball foul on Karl Malone.
Now, I like the way the referee is calling the play on the floor. Now, I want to see how well the Rockets can adapt to just staying focused and don't get caught up in calling.
Drexler taking it inside, back over the shoulder, and Akeem could not save it.
But see, Olajuwon should have gone to the basket with Clyde.
Because Ostertag did.
All the time.
All right, a 1 point Houston lead. Biggest lead for Houston was the 3 points a moment ago. Down to Malone. And a foul is called on Charles Barkley.
That's his
First foul on Charles. 2 team fouls on the Jazz, 1 on the Rockets. 8:51 left to play in the third quarter. And a foul on Matt Maloney. That's the second foul on Maloney. So both teams now with 2 team fouls.
Now Matt's got to understand who he's guarding and how you're going to have to play him without getting into foul trouble. Matt's working hard with him.
Now Drexler almost got a turnover. Russell in the open court. Back to Stockton. Shot clock now is at 9 seconds. Stockton puts up the jumper. Air ball. Hornacek throws it up. It almost went in. Maloney in the open court. Mario trying to wait for Akeem to post up on Ostertag. He does. He's fouled. And Ostertag with his 4th foul of the game. Stockton had to push him off. I don't know how he kept from getting a technical. And now Greg Foster will check back in for Ostertag. See, he put that hand on Akeem's shoulder. You can't hitch a ride.
And has the audacity to be angry about it. You got a lot of nerve on it.
Better not get in Jerry Sloan's ear very much. That's 3 team fouls now in Utah. Barkley and Malone again. Mariueli looking for a drive. 9 on the shot clock. Olajuwon in the middle. On the pass off. The 4th team foul on Utah. The Rockets are creating the fouls by being aggressive.
And look where their offensive attack has gone. Inside.
You got to wear Foster out now, don't you?
Yeah, well,
he's not a shot blocker.
Not at all. And the Rockets have done a nice job getting the inside game in foul trouble.
All right, here's Olajuwon spinning on Foster. Won't get it. And Malone with the rebound. Jazz trailing by 1. Stockton puts it up, missed it. Olajuwon gives it up to Matt. Matt, cross-court pass.
Oh, goodness gracious. You got to be a little more conservative.
Russell with a steal.
When they're getting back in transition.
Illegal defense on Houston. That's the 2nd on Houston. So the Jazz with 5, the Rockets with 2. Hornacek, an excellent free throw shooter.
Yep. Thank you, my boy. Can I get a camera down here on Bill Worrell, please? he is the star of the game. Now here's Matt's pass. He tries to make it across the transition defense with too many men in the middle of the floor.
Stockton loses a dribble. Russell bails him out. Russell wants to go one-on-one with Ellis. He'll fire it up from the outside, a 3. Air ball almost. And Barkley with a rebound. Now the Rockets need some points. Barkley on the drive. Put it up with 2. Charles Barkley.
Boy, I'll tell you what. He showed the illusion of the 3-point shot. Everybody got relaxed. And he used this old gray matter that says, nope, this ain't me. And turned the corner.
Listen to this crowd. Russell with a basket. A layup. 60-59, Rockets by 1. And a timeout, Houston. No matter how hard Houston plays, Utah plays just as well. What a game. You may always remember this one. Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals. These two have really gone after each other.
I like the Rockets' attack now. They're going inside. I like their shot selection. When they're not inside, I like their defensive intensity. They've kept Utah from, except the first 2 possessions, get easy baskets.
Boys and girls ages 6 to 17, listen up. Get ready for the Houston Rockets Whiz Kids basketball training camp with our Hall of Famer, Calvin Murphy. You can join Calvin during the weeks of June the 16th through the 20th and June the 23rd through the 27th. You'll learn the skills and you'll live the thrills, Rocket style. So don't miss the roll call. You can sign up right now for registration and information. Call 960-9501. 960-9501 for the Houston Rockets Whiz Kids basketball camp.
Yeah, I tell you what, talking about that Whiz Kids camp, we have people now caught from Australia calling about information to bring some youngsters in. So we're going to have a nice camp. But what we want to do right now before we think about that camp is win this championship. And the Rockets right now are starting to show how they got to this position defensively. Now, they got to be a little smarter, especially Matt Maloney, and not throw the ball away when you have the opportunity to take it from 2 to 4 or 5 point lead. This team is not going to go away. You've got to make them go away with good sound play.
It's really been tough. The backcourt for Houston still struggling, Calvin. Clyde Drexler with 6 points and Matt Maloney with no points. So that's only 6 points from Drexler and Maloney. And when you throw in Ellie with only 5, you're having to get your offense from Olajuwon and Eddie Johnson, basically. And that's why you have to play defense, don't you?
Well, yeah, when you're not involved offensively and you're called upon to score some points, you got to play good defense so you get yourself a chance to get some easy baskets.
Now Barkley with 8 rebounds, Olajuwon with 7. And Barkley with a great drive there and put it up with the left hand. All right, the Rockets with a 60-59 lead. Mario Elie will bring it in to Matt Maloney. Here we go, Rockets. Field goal so far in this quarter. All right, it's working on Foster for Olajuwon. Puts it up, misses. Stockton outside. Taking it down to Russell, and a whistle and a foul on Clyde Drexler.
Foul is on number 22, Clyde Drexler. That's his
Third foul of the game on Clyde, and that's the 3rd team foul on the Rockets. The Jazz with 4 team fouls. There
yeah, that's a good call. You can't
hook
anybody in their poster.
Pick and roll again. Stockton comes around the corner, gives it up to Foster for the slam, and he's fouled. Now look at the little wrinkle on the pick and roll by Utah.
But Charles has got to show. Charles is hugging his man, allowing the ball handler to turn that corner, and now everybody else has to readjust here. Now, right there was no show. Olajuwon had to come over to help, which is not his responsibility in that instance. His man is easily given a dunk shot. And
Barkley ends up getting the foul, his 2nd of the game, and that's a big 3-point play by Greg Foster. Again, another one of those bench players for Utah that has played great basketball in this series. 62-60, Jazz leading. Drexler gives it up to Hakeem. Spinning inside, Hornacek picked him up. Matt's open again. Matt with a 3. Yes! Finally! 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 And the Rockets lead by 1. Stay with that tough little Irishman. He'll be all right. There's the pick and roll again. Russell coming out. Malone shoots it up over Barkley and got it. Karl Malone with 11 points. 10 for Russell, 12 for Stockton. 17 for Olajuwon. Right back to Hakeem, to the middle on Foster. Got him in the air, back to Mario. Mario with a 3. Rims it out. Barkley with the offensive rebound and the putback.
I like the fact that their shot selection is very well thought of. Now, the outside shot is only an afterthought when the inside game has failed.
Rockets go back up by 1. Here's Stockton turning that corner again. Greg Foster on the outside. On the drive. Foster lost the ball. And a foul is called on Hakeem. Boy, they bailed him out there.
Foul is on number 34 for Olajuwon. That's his first personal.
That's only the first foul on Hakeem.
Now let's watch Charles on the offensive glass. This is very important. Mario Elie had a good shot. It touched some net, came out, but Charles was able to maneuver inside the defense to come up with that big offensive rebound.
Boy, I'd have let Foster on this drive. I'd just stay off of him and try to block it. Got a free throw. There's no way he's going to make this shot. I don't think he knows what he wants to shoot.
Yeah, that was a good call. Elijah Wan had his shoulder and hitchhiked his way to the basket.
Yeah. Foster, boy. 5 points in a row for Greg Foster. And it's 66-65 Utah. Here's Howard Isley in the game now, putting some pressure on Matt. Over to Elijah Wan. Got Foster on him. Takes it inside. Traveling is called on Akeem. He's asking Joy Crawford. He said, Joy, that's my normal move. Joy said, I didn't blow the whistle. Jazz by 1. Whenever Isley was in the game in the first half, Utah was a +10 in the points category. So they sure don't lose anything with him in at point guard. Isley puts it up, misses, and Drexler with a rebound. Team Elijah Wan to the middle again. Hook shot goes. Elijah Wan with 19 points.
Now, the Rockets did a nice job in transition, getting the ball down in motion so the defense didn't have a chance to react and set up any kind of a double team.
1 point Houston lead. Going behind that pick. Now Elijah Wan shows for a moment. Hornacek picked up on the perimeter by Ellie. Foster sets a pick. 5 on the shot clock. Tough shot for Hornacek. Missed it. Loose ball to Ellis. Gives it up to Clyde. Clyde's got to beat one man. Nice pass. Maloney with a 3. Short.
He's trying. He's measuring the basket, Bill.
Isley in the open court picks out Foster. Foster rims it out. Tipped up in the air to Barkley. (67-66) Rockets by 1. Drexler taking it in, lays it up. Goaltending called on Foster. Boy, that ball would have never gotten to the rim.
Wasn't even close.
Foster, thank you.
But it's better to be lucky than good sometimes, Mr. Bill Worrell. Thought I'd bring it to your attention.
I hear you. So, the basket gives the Rockets a 3-point lead. Sedale 3 trying to check in. He'll have to wait for the next dead ball. Eddie Johnson will come in with him. 2:58 left to play in this third period. Rock'em sock'em basketball, NBA style. Malone on that baseline. He'll work on Charles. Here's Elijah Wan coming over on the double team. 3-pointer. Long rebound to Isley. That's tough break.
Yeah, well, that's the guard's responsibility on that shot to come up with that rebound because they need to hang around the foul line area where the ball is going to normally come back to.
12 on the shot clock. Here's Isley on the drive. Over Elijah Wan. Rebound to Drexler. Drexler in the open court. Mario Ellie on the drive. And the Rockets now with their biggest lead of the game. 5 points. Timeout Utah. Rockets ball is back. Maybe it's taken the Rockets this long to realize there are only 4 teams left in the playoffs. There aren't going to be any more easy games.
Well, what the Rockets have simply done, they stopped worried about what Utah does and started worrying about what they do well, and it's working out. Defensively, they've caused Utah to miss some shots. Utah's been shooting the ball extremely well. But now when they do miss, the Rockets rebound, and they've been coming down, getting the opportunity baskets we talked about from the beginning of this broadcast, Bill.
This ties the Rockets' largest lead of the series, 5 points. Well, Lisa Milosky is standing by. You know, we talk about John Stockton being the all-time NBA steals leader. He had to beat out a pretty good guard to get that, and he's standing by with Lisa.
Yes, I'm here with Maurice Cheeks, longtime 15 seasons in the NBA, now an assistant coach with Philadelphia. First of all, I know you're good buds with Charles Barkley. You two played together at Philly. What do you think of the game so far?
Right now, the Rockets doing pretty good. They started getting the offensive glass and stop letting the Jazz run. I think they're going to come back and win this game.
Just going to say, what is the key to winning this game tonight?
Well, stopping the fast break and the pick and roll between Malone and Stockton. If they can put a clamp on that, I think they'll be okay.
Let's talk about Philadelphia now. You have been retained as an assistant coach to work with Allen Iverson. Let's talk about that team.
Well, I think we're just a young team. We had a lot of growing pains last year, and I think we just had to get ourselves together. I think with Larry coming in now, we're going to be okay.
Well, thanks for joining us. Bill, Calvin, back to you.
Pretty fair country point guard right there, Mo Cheeks.
Boy, I tell you what, I played against him, and did he understand the game of basketball?
The Rockets in the last 3 minutes have outscored Utah 8-2. Sadale Threet now will match up with Howard Isley. Malone setting a pick for Isley. Threet works his way through it, and Foster with a slam dunk on an alley-oop pass from Isley. That was close to offensive goaltending there. That ball was right over the rim.
That was in the rim.
Down to Barkley. Got Malone behind him. Barkley working it inside. Pass off. Eddie Johnson with a three. Yes! He is on fire, Eddie Johnson. (74-68) Houston. This place is going crazy. Double team. Malone with a turnaround. Got it.
Well, I just love to see him shoot that shot when he sees the defense, the help part of the defense coming at him.
I don't love it.
Well, yeah, good point.
He's 6 of 7 tonight. He's only missed one. All right, Willis will work on Foster. Jump hook for Kevin Willis. Oh, boy. The bench has come to play tonight.
Well, they've been criticized so much, they got pride too, Bill.
Yep. 76-70, Rockets by 6. Barkley with a block. And the ball. Malone is still trailing the play. Rockets may get an easy one. Barkley in the air. He's fouled.
Boy, I'll tell you what. Defensive intensity is causing the Rockets to get all they want in easy baskets. Now here comes Charles over. He knows that Sadale is caught on the mailman. He comes over to support.
And
he shouldn't taunt, though. Don't taunt.
Well, when you're delivering a message to the mailman, you have to talk a little louder than normal.
What is it, COD?
You know what he did then? That was return to sender.
Not enough postage.
No. Barkley said, return this, Mr. Mailman.
Now, see, normally I would say, return to sender.
Somewhere Elvis is turning over. 78-70. Rockets by 8. Largest lead of the game. 40 seconds left in the third quarter. Now finish it with a defensive stop. The crowd, they're up on their feet again. Layup, Isley. Now the Rockets can take it down. There's about a 4-second difference in the game clock and the shot clock. 6-point Houston lead. Drexler will control the ball outside. Russell will be on him. This is a good matchup here. There you see the shot clock on your left. Drexler. Tough shot. 6 seconds. Hornacek hooks it up. It won't go in. It won't go in again. And that's the end of the third quarter. The Rockets outscore Utah 29-21. What an incredible basketball game. But we still have 12 more minutes left to play. Barkley with 7 rebounds in that third quarter. The Rockets win it 29-21. But don't think by any stretch of the imagination the Jazz are through playing basketball.
I never thought that.
Here's a third quarter summary. Do you know that Karl Malone has not attempted a free throw tonight? That in itself
is a miracle.
Is an upset. Elijah with 19 points, Johnson with 17. Eddie has been big tonight. And in the third quarter, Houston 61% from the field. All of those things in Houston's favor, and yet the Rockets are only 8 points ahead. Boy, watch this shot by Clyde.
Well, remember, the Rockets had to struggle uphill to get to this stage.
Eddie from the top. Eddie Johnson.
No, they gave him a two-pointer.
He is 7 of 11 from the field. Stockton out high. Antoine Carr has the ball taken away, and a foul is called on Barkley. That's a third foul on Charles, and they're going to say that Antoine Carr was going to shoot it. I don't know how they could tell.
Well, you know, they know his rep. I used to get a lot of those calls. My back to the basket, and he was going to shoot it. Give him 2 shots.
Well, if he was going to shoot it, he'd have had to throw Charles through the basket with the ball. Listen to this crowd chanting, Eddie, Eddie. Eddie Johnson, 7 of 11 from the field. He has 4 3-pointers. 4 for 6. Antoine Carr with both free throws. This Utah team also an excellent free throw shooting team.
I know I didn't recognize him. Where's his shades?
82-74. Rockets lead by 8. Pass inside to Willis. He's pushed from behind by Carr. Don't count the bucket. Pretty good foul by Antoine Carr because Willis had a layup. Look at this pass.
Yeah, this is a real nice pass because Willis was moving towards the basket. You can make passes like this.
Both teams with 1 team foul. All right, Barkley now will work on Greg Foster. Another nice illegal D. Look at Carr all the way over. Sedale Threet with a 3. Misses. Barkley with a long rebound. That ball's coming way out on those 3-point attempts, and that time Barkley figured it out. Down to Willis. Willis working on Carr. Willis jump hook. A little too strong. Barkley with the offensive rebound. Loose ball foul on Russell. Boy, Barkley is just a man possessed.
Well, he's doing a nice job getting positioning.
13 rebounds for Charles Barkley. Barkley now, Foster with 4 fouls. Got to watch it. Barkley takes it up, missed it. Willis is right there for the big putback. Willis and Barkley are working him over. This crowd is delirious. They're exhausted but delirious. Stockton.
Oh, that's how you stop that.
Russell misses. And over the back, and Sedale Threet with a rebound. Nice pass inside. Willis jumps it. Oh, yes! Oh, the Rockets are running them right out of the summit. Timeout, Utah. Listen to this crowd. Calvin Murphy, the Rockets ain't talking. They're walking.
That's right. Don't talk the talk. Walk the walk. And the bench especially has come tonight to walk that walk, Bill. Now let's watch Eddie Johnson and play. Eddie Johnson just does what any good shooter wants to do. He finds himself a spot, lets the point guard do all the work, concentrate, let it go. And 2. Now here goes Mr. Willis going to the basket. Nice play by Sedale Threet, simply giving everybody the illusion he's going to the sidelines inside for a little jump hook. Here's another look at it. Put him in the popcorn machine. Shake a little butter on it. Bang!
Now you got, I like the way you do that. You got to remember, folks, the Rockets trailed by 13 points in the first quarter. Now Houston leading by 12 points. That's a 25-point turnaround, and 35 of those points have been provided by the Houston bench. Now, the Rockets bench, remember, had been outscored 54-20 in the first 2 games, Calvin, so already the Rockets bench with 9 more points than they had in the first 2 games combined.
Well, I tell you what, Bill, Eddie Johnson found his jumper just in time. I found it just in time.
Oh, man, I wish we had more commercials. I'll bet you people even paying for the pay-per-view wish they could go to a commercial.
Bill, you love me. You can't hurt my feelings.
I know it, Murph. These folks for pay-per-view, they're getting a little extra bonus. Calvin Murphy at the piano bar. Eddie Johnson is playing some beautiful music tonight for Houston. He is strumming Utah to the tune of 19 points. Here we go now. Still 10 minutes left to play. You got to finish it. Stockton down to Malone on the baseline. He hasn't gotten a lot of looks. Double team. Malone with a turnaround. Missed it. Barkley with another rebound. 14 for Sir Charles. All right, Barkley wants to get down and dirty on the big dog. He's going to go one-on-one with him. Double team comes over. Barkley pumps it up, misses, and he's fouled. And he'll shoot 2. 4th foul on the big dog. Foster with 4 fouls. Ostertag with 4 fouls. And all that simply means the Rockets have attacked the basket tonight.
Inside.
Discover Card is a proud contributor to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and tonight will make a donation of $500 to its local chapter. Great job by Discover Card. And the Rockets have discovered their inside game again. But you know what started the inside game? The outside shooting of Eddie Johnson.
That's right. When Eddie came in and started clicking, everything started following suit.
Basketball is not brain surgery.
Simplicity.
Yes. You've got to get something working. The Rockets in the first 2 games didn't have an inside game, nor did they have an outside game. Tonight, it's all falling into place. 88-74, Rockets by 14 points. 9.5 minutes left to play. And a whistle and a foul on Kevin Willis. I'll tell you what happened. Stockton came across the middle and got a little taste. See if we can see it again now. It looked like a back pick being set by Stockton, and they call that on Willis. Stockton made contact. Going to Malone down low. Willis right behind him. Malone twisting inside. Missed it, and Willis with a rebound. What a job by Kevin Willis. Malone's not talking any of that trash right now.
Charles, you don't want the 3, my brother.
No, please.
You go over here begging.
Barkley lost the ball. Doing too much with it. And a foul on Eddie Johnson. Shannon Anderson was off to the races.
Yeah, now see, when Charles holds the ball, the defense is set for him. If that ball is hopping, everybody's involved, he ends up getting himself a better look at the basket.
Correctamundo. Eddie with his 2nd foul. That's 3 team fouls on the Rockets. The Jazz with 3 team fouls. Malone to the basket, and Willis fouled him. No, what are they calling here?
A flagrant foul.
Are they calling a flagrant on Willis? The basket went in.
We have 1 penalty, 1 flagrant foul.
So a flagrant foul is called on Willis as he pushed Karl Malone.
Now Willis needs to get away from the referee. They've done a nice job staying off the officials. The play was called, accept it, move on.
So not only do they get a 3-point play out of that, they will get the ball back. Now this is something you can't allow them to get back in the game by making those needless fouls, and Barkley, after hard work, will sit down. 88-77, Rockets lead 11. Now that was a 3-point play. You can't allow them to get more. Hustle on that defense. Stockton and Malone on the pick and roll. Good pickup by Olajuwon. Shot clock at 5 seconds. Malone with a hook shot, got it, and it's a 5-point possession for Utah. 88-79, Rockets by 9 points. And a foul on Antoine Carr, and that's the 4th team foul on Utah, and a technical foul on Antoine Carr.
Now, he knew he was going to draw technical on that. A little too much emotion.
Eddie Johnson now in the playoffs, a perfect 22 of 22 from the free throw line. Carr now will come out. Ostertag will check back in with 4 fouls. Carr goes out with 5 fouls. 10-point Houston lead. Going back to the Dream. He'll work on Ostertag. Squares up on Ostertag. Stockton comes in, knocks the ball away. Green gives it up. Eddie Johnson. Oh! Eddie Johnson hits again.
He got a 2-pointer.
'91-79. Eddie Johnson. And backdoor for Shandon Anderson. Willie Anderson's little brother. Isn't that something? Both Andersons are still in the Final Four. Willie with
both of them
Miami.
can shoot the ball.
Dale Freet takes it down to Olajuwon. Back to Eddie. Eddie again. Eddie again. This time he missed. He didn't miss by much. Stockton will fire up a 3. Rims that out. Shannon Anderson with a great save. Hornacek floats one up for 2. You better not take a deep breath with Utah, because here they come again, down by 8. 7 minutes left to play. Willis lost the ball. I tell you, the Rockets had it up to a 14-point lead. It's down to 8. And Utah will have the basketball. Still 7:01 left to play.
The 2 things they don't need 1, to lose their composure. 2, they don't need turnovers.
Utah has been relentless, and so has Houston. What a game. Malone from way outside, he hits it. Karl Malone, and Houston has to call a timeout, so that Houston Rockets 14-point lead has evaporated. And with 6:45 left to play, it's a 6-point game.
Bill, that flagrant foul on the part of Kevin Willis really kind of turned things a little bit right there, because that was a 5-point possession for Utah and got them back into the game.
And it also woke up
Karl Malone.
Yes. Malone was just kind of sleeping there at 13 points, and now he's got 20. All of a sudden you look up. In the last 3 minutes, Utah has outscored Houston 11-3. Well, Lisa standing by with another familiar face. Lisa?
Yes, longtime Oilers quarterback. Then he went to Minnesota. Now he's going back to Seattle. Warren Moon. I climbed up here into the stands to find him. Warren, you and Clyde Drexler are very good friends. What did he say before this series began?
Well, he knew it was going to be a tough series, especially going up to Utah, and they were hoping that they could try and steal one up there. But that Seattle series was so physical on them. I think their legs were a little bit gone, and they were playing a really rested team. But this is their chance to get back in the win column and try and get that home court back. So hopefully they can win this one today, and then the momentum will change.
Well, did you talk to him before this game? Were they entering with a lot of confidence coming back home?
Well, they feel a lot better about being at home just because of the fans, the familiarity with the floor, just being at home and then being able to sleep in their own beds and all that type of thing. So they definitely feel much more confident playing at home, and they know they have their work cut out for them, because Utah is a very tough basketball team, but they really think they can still pull it out.
Well, and I know you're heading up to Seattle to play a little football this fall, but I know your allegiance has always been at the Rockets.
Always has been. It was tough during the Seattle series being up there, because people gave me a lot of grief about being a Rockets fan, but I'm a Rockets fan thick and thin, and I'm going to stick that way.
Well, let's talk a little bit about football. Are you excited about the season?
I really am. You know, I don't like the way my season ended last year being hurt. I'm really healthy now and ready to go, and we have a very good team up there, so I'm really excited about finishing up in Seattle.
Well, good luck, and thanks for stopping. Let's go back to Bill and Calvin.
Thank you, Lisa. Well, in the last 3 minutes, Utah has outscored Houston 11-3, and that man, Karl Malone, has 7 of Utah's 11 points. Olajuwon back over to Sedale 3. Missed the jumper. Tipped outside. Ostertag has it. 6:28 left to play.
Now, Utah has quieted the crowd down with their 11-3 run. The Rockets now have got to bring the crowd back into it by some strong defensive play.
Hornacek outside looking for Malone. Foul is called on Sedale 3. Both teams are in the penalty, so now both teams go to the line to shoot. You know, all that talk about the fouls committed by the Utah guards, there was a foul inside called on a Houston guard. Sedale 3. And Malone, a good free throw shooter. Thank you very much.
You're batting 1,000 today, Bill.
Matt Maloney back into the game for Sedale 3. He didn't used to be a good free throw shooter, but he has worked hard on his game over the years.
Well, he came to the NBA a good player. He developed himself into a great player.
Got one out of two. 91-86, a 5-point Houston lead. Now somebody's got to hit a basket for the Rockets.
Let's go back inside for a while.
Back to Olajuwon. Got the inside on Ostertag. He felt his body, didn't he?
Yes, he did. And his timing, as soon as Ostertag committed himself to one side, Green did a nice job of pinning him and going baseline.
Rockets need to stop. Stockton turns the corner. Keene flashed out to pick him up. Inside to Ostertag. And before the shot, he's fouled. He'll still get 1 plus the bonus.
Now, Dream came out and trapped and double teamed, but what he wants to do is to go out and show. Once Stockton picks the ball up, he's got to get back to his man.
Now watch it again.
Okay, now Dream comes out all the way. He comes all the way over to support. Now, once he stops him, he picked the ball up, he's got to now find his man, and Matt stays at home.
Ostertag, also an excellent free throw shooter. This entire Utah team in the regular season, 77%. Ostertag in the regular season shot 68% from the free throw line, but he shot better in the playoffs. Got them both.
Well, you're 2 for 3.
I couldn't jinx him then. (93-88). 5-point Houston lead. Olajuwon working on Ostertag again. Got him in the air. Put him in the popcorn machine.
He's got to be careful because Stockton is vacating the position of guarding Maloney to go back and help.
95-88 Houston. 5:20 left. Stockton throws it away. Eddie Johnson has it. It's a foot race. It's a foot race. Eddie wins it. Eddie wins it. Eddie Johnson with 24 points. Rockets up by 9. Timeout, Utah. A 9-point lead. Now Calvin Murphy, this last play is the way I would imagine stealing the ball from you. Now here I am. They throw the ball to Eddie Johnson. Now pretend like I'm Eddie Johnson and here you come behind me. Now about right here, Eddie looks like he's running uphill. But he made it.
See, Bill, let me explain something to you for the folks. That's why you have no friends. Is that attitude right there. But Eddie does a nice job defensively by playing the passing lane. But before that, Stockton got caught in the air because the Rockets came out and showed and didn't give him a chance to throw the ball inside. Now, Eddie knew he had a layup. And like any good shooter, if he had to crawl the last mile to make it, he was going to do that.
Well, Eddie's 38, and I thought he was going to turn 39 before he got to the basket. But the only reason I'm having fun with Eddie is because, bless his heart, He has 24 points tonight, and the Rockets have needed every one of them. I mean, what an offensive and defensive game for Eddie Johnson.
Now, you know I'm going to have to tell him what you said on that particular play, don't you?
But I'll deny it.
I know you will.
Now, that's what's happened here in the fourth period. The Rockets leading by a point. The Rockets were up by 14 points. But Utah not going down without a struggle. And let me caution everybody, still 5 minutes left to play, and that's an eternity in the NBA.
That's right, especially when you got a team that has as much firepower from all positions as Utah.
Listen to this crowd. In case you're interested, Eddie's career high playoff is 35 points. That came against Golden State in 1989. I think he was playing for Phoenix or Seattle in that series, one of the two. All right, Utah will have it.
It's going to come down to a game of possessions in a minute, Bill.
Stockton passes off to Ostertag, and Eddie Johnson with a foul. Now, I told you Ostertag was a 68% free throw shooter in the regular season, but here in the playoffs, Ostertag is shooting almost 90% from the free throw line. He's made all three of his free throws tonight.
Ain't no way in the world to make both of them now. You gave him a double whammy.
Well, he got a little iron, but he is 4 of 4 from the line. Ostertag with 12 points, 8 rebounds. Got them both. 97-90. Rockets hanging on to a 7-point lead.
You know, it's interesting that defensively, Utah is not extending their defense out any further. They're meeting the Rockets down here in the half-court game.
Double team comes quickly this time on Olajuwon. Eddie Johnson on the drive. Oh, Eddie Johnson! He's unbelievable. 26 points for EJ.
Off the bench.
Well, there's always a factor you don't know about. Stockton baseline to Oster. Oh, Olajuwon with a block. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. The all-time NBA shot blocking leader. And he said, get that stuff out of here. Drexler knocks it out of bounds. 1 more second off the shot clock. 7 seconds.
Now, notice what the Rockets are doing. They're giving them a little taste of their medicine. The Rockets are playing the passing lane, Bill. And they were able to come up with their hands on 2 balls that time.
Stockton back to Malone. 4 seconds left. Barkley knocks it away. Ostertag trying to get it off. Oh, my goodness. They call a foul on Olajuwon. A 2-shot foul with 1 second left on the shot clock.
Well, to tell you the truth, that was a mistake on Olajuwon's part right there. He didn't have to try to block that shot from out
just
there.
let him shoot.
Let him shoot the ball.
Now, let him shoot that. Boy. Hakeem with a couple of fouls. Both teams are well into the penalty. Ostertag has not missed. He is 6 of 6 from the line. Utah 14 of 16 as a team. Houston 14 of 17 as a team. Got them both. 2 big ones. And Ostertag has scored the last 6 points for Utah. Jazz hanging tough, down by 7. Double team quickly on Olajuwon. Eddie Johnson back to Maloney, right back to Hakeem. Swinging inside. Olajuwon for 2 foul. Oh, Hakeem.
And once more, that's the 5th foul on Ostertag, as well as Olajuwon going to the line after a great move. Now here Ostertag committing himself to one side again, and Olajuwon goes baseline once again.
Now, if Ostertag's getting help from Russell, why isn't he protecting the baseline?
Bill, that is a very good question, and I have no answer for it.
Olajuwon with 26 points and a huge three-point play. 102-92, 10-point Houston lead, under 4 minutes left to play in the game. Malone sets that pick. Stockton with a jumper, got it, and he's fouled. They just don't stop coming at you. They are relentless.
Okay, now here's the problem. There's the two-man game. Charles Barkley never came up to show. Now that's the defense that the Rockets are trying to play on the two-man game or the pick and roll.
So they answer with a three-point play from Stockton, and it's right back to a 7-point Houston lead, and they did it in a hurry. Matt drops it down, double team quickly on Akeem. They switch it around to Eddie Johnson, back to Drexler. They'll go to Barkley now. 9 on the shot clock. Barkley taking it in, puts it up off the glass, and it goes. Charles Barkley, big shot over Malone and Ostertag. 9-point Houston lead. 3:22 and counting. Stockton trying to get open. Malone lost the ball. Matt Maloney in the open court. Matt Maloney. And Eddie Johnson saves it.
Be careful.
And he'll pull it out.
They don't need any turnovers. Right now it's all a game of possessions.
Double team on the franchise. They're swinging around. Eddie Johnson, can he do it again? Yes! Eddie Johnson! Eddie Johnson! Timeout, Utah! 29 points for EJ. When you talk about the Rockets, let's talk about defense first and then offense.
Well, anytime that the Rockets find themselves where they can get a turnover by supporting defensively, they want to make sure that they can come back on the offensive end and capitalize on it. And Charles Barkley does a great job just muscling his way to a nice bank shot.
Now,
a steady Eddie, ready for Eddie, whatever you want to call him, has found his jumper tonight.
Eddie Johnson looks over at us and says, what slump? Oh, boy. I don't think I've ever seen a shooting performance under these kinds of pressure, under this kind of pressure than I've seen tonight from Eddie Johnson. Absolutely an unbelievable performance.
He looks just as calm and collected, like nothing ever happened out there.
This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the NBA. But boy, it's worth looking at again. What a game. Calvin, Eddie Johnson now has personally scored more points tonight than the entire Houston bench had in the first 2 games combined.
Combined. The key word is combined. Boy, who gave you those stats, Bill?
Bill Roberts.
Bill Roberts, the best in the business.
The crowd chanting, Eddie, Eddie. Ostertag blocked by Olajuwon. Blocked from behind by Drexler. That Houston defense is stifling. From Drexler, and Barkley missed the layup. Go in and shoot it. Stockton back with a 3. Missed it. And a loose ball foul is called on Charles Barkley. That's his 4th of the game.
Well, that was a nifty pass by Clyde Drexler.
Why doesn't he take it and slam it? That's what I wanted him to do.
Maybe he's just a little winded.
Now,
Elijah says, look, apparently you don't understand what I did the last time you had a shot. And then here comes Drexler saying, well, if my friend, the five-slammer jammer partner, can do it, so can I.
During the regular season, Paul Malone averaged 1 free throw every 4 minutes. In comparison, Hakeem averaged only a free throw every 6 minutes. But Malone is shooting only his 5th free throw of the night. Missed them both. 107-95, Rockets by 12 with 2:12 left. And a foul on Hornacek.
Yeah, he better foul because Eddie was standing wide open. And Hornacek knew it. He says, oh, my God, I made a mistake.
To 95. Stockton gets open, and of course he hits. Although the Rockets have done a good job on him. He was hitting early, but he's 8 of 19, so they've kept him under 50%. Back over to Eddie Johnson. Now he wants to just milk the clock now.
Sure he does. He doesn't want to get point hungry.
Olajuwon back to the middle, back outside. Drexler on the drive. He's fouled. He'll shoot 2. Great. That's the way to think.
That's right. Now, that's Clyde's game. And those 6 fouls off the tag, he's on vacation until Sunday.
He'll go find the Wizard in Kansas. Great drive by Clyde Drexler. 10 points, looking for more. Got them both. Drexler with 12. Rockets now lead it 110-97. Stockton saw Olajuwon and threw it into the first row. I can't say enough about the Rockets defense. And Jerry Sloan's team was leading by 13 points in the first quarter. What an incredible comeback by Houston. Drexler backdoor. He's fouled. Nope, they knock it out of bounds. Rockets will have it. 13 on the shot clock. And now Jerry Sloan will admit defeat. Here come the reserves. And Sloan will wait for game 4. Game 3 is over.
The Rockets came out tonight and took care of business because they played basketball. They weren't distracted by officials, by anything.
Eddie
Johnson once again sets the tone with 31 points.
They talk about the unknown factor, Calvin. There's Isley, who was an unknown factor in games 1 and 2. But Eddie Johnson was the unknown factor for Utah. They left him open early, and he got hot. And you don't let a shooter get hot. 1 minute left to play. Rockets just need to protect the ball. 8 seconds now. Go for your shot. Clyde with a 3. Got it.
Well, it's been raining on Utah here in Houston today. Not only outside, but in the summit.
Houston's ball. Nope, they're going to say Utah's ball. Nope, I think Hugh Hollins now is going to talk it over. And Crawford's not going to let Hugh overrule him. Hugh was going to change the call.
And, oh, boy, I'll tell you what.
Hugh's staring daggers.
Oh, boy, is that ugly.
Drexler with a rebound.
Oh, you didn't like that. Oh.
Listen to this crowd. This crowd has been fantastic. And I know you folks out there watching have been wonderful too. What a game. Barkley puts the cherry on the Sunday.
There it is. The Jazz is hitting the threes. It's time to take it home.
There it is. The heart of a champion is still beating. The Rockets with one of their finest hours. Houston comes from behind to win game 3. Eddie Johnson with 31 points. And Sunday's game 4 now becomes a big game.
Tonight, not only did he make a shot, but he was looking for his shot. He knew his job was to put some points on that scoreboard, and he took it upon himself to come at you from outside and in.
Well, you know, he was hitting so many threes, they were running at him. That allowed the layup. And then here Barkley finds him, or they find Eddie from the outside, and he hits again. And I'll tell you, he didn't hit very many rims. He was in that cotton all night. And then this was the fast break when they threw the ball to him, and he looked like he was running up a hill by that time. He played a lot of minutes.
If that rim was any wider, he'd have killed somebody with some of those